Hello makers of all kinds. Whether you crochet, knit, bake, garden, whatever you do, welcome. I hope that you have had a nice Christmas, however you celebrate it, or if you don't celebrate it, I hope you had nice weekends. There's been a lot of things on my mind this Christmas, a lot of thoughts of how important it is to be grateful for the things that we have, for the people that we have around us, just for how grateful I am for the little things in my life, how grateful I am for having people to miss, how grateful I am for all the joy that we have around us and in our family, and I hope that you all find some kind of happiness and relief and joy during these trying and difficult times. It's been a weird year, a strange year in a lot of ways, but at the same time it strikes me how easy it is to get used to this new normal, that is the strange year of the pandemic. I can't explain it more than that, I think. We try to use the time by being together, just our little family. Of course it is a strain to our children not being able to go to school in a normal way. Studying from home for our older children, and being careful and being mindful of where you are and how you act and how far near you are to people around you. Even going to shop for food feels dangerous sometimes, and that's strange. But I wasn't going to talk about the pandemic, I thought, but it's been a strange year, a year of many new firsts, and but still a year of a lot of gratitude and love, and just being together, a kind of, what is it he says, Leonard Cohen, there is a crack in everything and that is where the light comes in. I think he says something like that, or it's paraphrased by me. But in this crack in time, we're trying to use it well, trying to be together, trying to learn new things, read books, use the time for handicraft, a lot of cooking, baking, being together. And we've been together and we've had a lovely Christmas, and we've been taking it easy, eating a lot of good food, and I hope you all have too. So I've been knitting some. Before Christmas I knit a lot of Christmas gifts. Well, not a lot of, but some. A shawl for my mother-in-law, and one of my daughters helped knit a shawl for my mother. And I knit mittens for my father. And I knit some raggsockor, socks, warm socks. A few of them. And we've all gifted them. And they were all crocheted, I think. And all our daughters wanted yarn for Christmas. Yarn that will be knit into sweaters, and two of my daughters also wished for yarn that's going to be shawls. But I've started one of the Christmas knits, the Christmas yarns, another riddare for my youngest daughter, our youngest daughter. and she loves purple. So we thought she would get a neutral colour for the base, which is a light grey. This is knit in Lättloppy. She hasn't liked Lättloppy before, but she borrowed one of the other daughter's sweaters and she didn't find it itchy anymore. So she thought she'd have one. Because it keeps you warm in another way than the other yarns do. It's so light, and I don't know if I'm not really sure what they do with this Lättloppy, but it seems there's a lot of air and it's so light, and the way it's spun makes it, well, fantastic, really. So this is as far as I've gotten. I cast on to, I don't know if I cast on last night or the night before. And I made some mistakes in the beginning because it has been some time since I knit the ribbing. So I started with the ribbing and I had to tear that out, and then I started again. And when you start a sweater like this, you have to be mindful, really careful about not you know, twirling the stitches in any way, keeping them straight, because when you knit it together in the round, it becomes twisted if you're not really careful. So I did that. I twisted it twice, making it, you know, spun, and that's not good for the continuation of the knitting, so I had to tear that out, frog it, as they say, and start again. So this is my third or fourth time starting this sweater, but it's looking good so far. I had missed one stitch, so I had to add that on later. So I now have 152 stitches, which is a modification of the pattern. But I've done that size-wise for, because this is a men's and women's pattern, the ribbing pattern, and I've modified it to fit our younger daughters. And the repeat is, I think, 8 stitches long. So you just subtract those stitches and you get a smaller sweater. I'm not sure that was a clear description, but maybe you understand what I mean. So this sweater is going to be in this light grey, which is the base colour, a purple, this is white, and then the light grey. And I didn't bring those. Oh, sorry. I didn't bring those. Okay. But the pattern itself is going to be this this purple with white, then pink heather. Well, maybe I have. There's so much on about now. Yes, it's going to. This purple is going to be matched with this pink, and I think it's going to look lovely. I really like this. This is the shade 1412. I think it's called Pink Heather. So that's going to be lovely. So I'm now thinking about tandem knitting. As I've seen many of you knit socks that way. You have one pair of DPNs, needles, one pair of needles, and you start the ribbing of the sock, and then you knit further down, and then you start the sock number 2. And I read that it's to avoid second sock syndrome. I don't have that. I don't knit many socks, but I tend to finish what I knit. I don't know why. It's just my sense of organization, I think. I don't know. But I'm thinking about tandem knitting 2 ribbings for our middle daughter has also wished or wanted yarn for Christmas, and she wants a ribbing in Lättloppy too. And she also found Lättloppy to be scratchy and itchy, But our oldest daughter knit herself a redari, and she knits very tightly, so the gauge or the yoke was very tight, and we try to block it and stretch it, but it still turned out too tight. So our middle daughter was gifted it, and she's worn it, and she doesn't find the yarn scratchy or itchy at all. So she wished for yarn for another redari, and she loves colour, and she is very blonde, and somehow bright colours are beautiful on her, and she wished for this as a base colour. I think it's called Aqua something. It's the shade 1404 of Let Lobby anyhow. It was really difficult to find. It had been sold out, probably due to the pandemic, because a lot of yarns are sold out. I think it has to do with, I don't know, not being able to ship to places, and the production is slowed down. But this is the Aqua Let Lobby, and I think I said shade 1404. So this is the base colour, the main colour, and she's, her litter is only in 3 colours. So in the yoke there's going to be this again, paired with white and pink. And I just think this is lovely. This is going to look wonderful on her. So beautiful. So I'm thinking about casting that on too, and I don't know. I tend to want to finish a project before I start the next one, because that's the way I work. I think I'm a project knitter, so I want to finish things, and I tend to knit fast when I want to finish things. But I also experience that I forget things, and I have to learn them again. Not learn them again, but I have to refresh my memory when I start the same pattern again. And I make a lot of mistakes then. So maybe I will cast on this sweater also, and keep switching between the two. I don't know, but that's the thought. And I thought I'd bring one more. I'm not going to talk long today, but I think these colours are so beautiful. The same daughter wished for this Let Lobby sweater, redari, in this main colour. She also wanted yarn, or wished for yarn from Santa, for a shawl, patterned by Sofia Kammerborn of Kammerbornia. The skymningssjal you can find on Ravelry. It's a basic shawl, a basic pattern, and so lovely. And this daughter wanted these colours, a skymningssjal in these colours. Aren't they lovely? She loves these colours. They're a bit more green than she thought. I don't know if you can see them properly, if the colours are coming out the way they are. She thought there would be more blue. I do have to order those test charts where I can see the yarn, but I didn't. We looked at the homepage. I ordered this from Yll och Tyll, which is a yarn shop in Uppsala in Sweden. They have such a great variety of yarns, and they have a lot of woolen yarns, non-superwash and woolen yarns, and I love that. So I often order yarns from them. So this is Rauma Finull, a 2-ply, very soft and woolly yarn. So she thought the colours would be more blue, but they're more green, kind of aqua. And I think the shawl will be lovely. that's for, I won't be knitting that now. Oh yes, and there's a lace edging, and the lace edging is going to be in this white Ramafin. Isn't it lovely? I think it's beautiful, and it's going to be a striped shawl. So I have a lot of knits this coming year. I'm going to knit 2 reveries and a shawl. Another shawl, I can't remember the name of the pattern. It's a lace shawl that our oldest daughter wanted, and I'm knitting that in Spindrift. I think it's Jameson Spindrift, not sure, but it's a beautiful kind of yellowish gold colour. And I'm knitting another sweater by a Norwegian designer, a pattern from a Norwegian designer. She's called Vanja Strick. I don't remember the pattern name. I'm knitting that, and I found 2 new patterns. My other two, we have 5 daughters, so they all wished for yarn and for Christmas, and I think maybe I will find this here. I do love Ravelry, and I find a lot of patterns here. Yes. So I'm knitting one of these. Oh, it's by Caitlin Hunter. It's called Birkin. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that correctly. One of our daughters wished for this. I'm not sure how that is coming out. No, it doesn't. Can't focus on that at all. But yeah, I'll try it again. Yes, now you can see it. This is the Birkin, and the colours that she chose are almost like that. So I'm knitting one of those. I hope it doesn't have to be easy, but I just hope it's not too difficult. And I do believe that one of our other daughters wished for this. Yes, and it's by Jennifer Steingast of Knit Love Wool, and the sweater is Sunray. And I'm knitting that in Ramafin Ull as well. There you go, Sunray. Beautiful, and that's going to be in a deep purple with a cherry blossom pink in the pattern. So you will see a lot of knitting in the coming months. Christmas gift knitting, but you know, knitting from Christmas gift yarn. In my Christmas gifts, I also knitted baby sweaters for a relative of mine who has now become a grandmother. The babies are 5 months old, and I hadn't learned to knit when our children were small, so this was amazingly fun. I found 2 patterns by Tin Can Knits, and one was called Dog Star and one was called Almanac, I think. I knitted in a very soft Sandnes merino yarn, which had been superwashed, and it proved to be a bit difficult when it came to patterning. The wool doesn't, well, it kind of slides, and so when I had washed it, I had to mend the sweaters, which wasn't a lot of fun. But now I know how to make sweaters with this yarn. It was a bit difficult, but it was a lot of fun. So this is a picture of them. They were tiny, tiny sweaters, and it took, well, the better part, or it took maybe 8 or 9 days to knit them both. And I'm going to try to squeeze in a knit for myself. Also, I have the yarn. It's been in my stash for a month. and it's the Plötolopi yarn, which I really like knitting with. And this is by Mandarins, Melody Hoffman. So I am knitting myself a tulip from the yarn. It's just a basic sweater with a raglan sleeve. I haven't done that before, so that's going to be interesting. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of knitting, and I look forward to you joining me on my knitting adventure. Thank you so much for the welcome on this interwebs YouTube. You can find me here on YouTube as House of Nellie. You can find me on Instagram as Sticky Mama Lotta, and on the World Wide Web as Fembarnsmamma, which is mother of 5. Strange with a lot of different names, but there it is. Thank you so much for this year. It's been a trying year for a lot of people, and I hope you're doing fine, staying safe, and taking care, and spend time with your loved ones if you can, if and when you can. I wish you a good week and a happy new year, and I will see you soon. Thank you for today. Bye bye.